And before the break, we were just talking about, how video messaging can get you into a little bit of trouble. Can get you into a bit of trouble. But there were some other things pertaining to this that I wanted to mention, because what I noticed, again, over here in the UK, right, they've actually touched on this in the news this week, K-Rose. They said that there's a 50% rise in long-term unemployment from, youngsters. They call it, again, I don't like this term, ethnic minorities, but that's basically the terminology they're using. So they mean black, Asian, such and such. So I realised that, hold on a second, you see, this is another thing that contributes to the prison population. When you're unemployed, what happens? You get desperate. You may start to get silly ideas in your head about going and doing something stupid because you need the money, right? So then you do crime. What happens when you do crime? You end up in jail. So this is the reason, again, why this government, the UK government, I need to stress, the UK government, they got to sort it out. They got to sort out the economy so that, a lot of these youngsters can have a chance. Because there's something I posted on my Ask Avani page, actually, it was yesterday because I saw it on the news. And they were saying about this apprenticeship program that's going to be cut because the funding from the construction industry has stopped because they can't afford to do it no more. Now, what happened is that this apprenticeship program was teaching kids how to get qualifications to work in the construction industry. So if that program is stopped, what's going to happen? These kids are going to end up being unemployed unless they can find something else that's going to help them get jobs. So I was posting that. So that's a charity thing that I thought, if anyone can help to donate money to. But there's something I wanted to share, even though I'm upset with the UK government. Somebody done something really funny this week, right? No, in actual fact, it's been going for a couple of weeks. People in the UK, you're going to know about this. It's the it's the budget rap battle, the leaders. Now, even the UK government is getting in on the Rap Act. I sent you this link, didn't I, Gairo?
Yes.
Did you listen to it? People, I'm going to post it, don't worry. If you ain't heard it yet, I'm going to post it. Every time I see that advert, it's like the Money Supermarket advert. Every time I see that advert, I'm just laughing.
And see, that's the other thing. Last week you you told me about the supermarket video, and I looked at it fresh on the show, and man, that I spent the whole week telling other people about that. That was the craziest thing. But that's why I didn't look at this particular video that you're giving me now. I'm leaving myself when we do the show so that I can go in fresh and look at some things.
A at the moment response, right?
Exactly.
Go on then. You got to listen to it. You can play it. I'm sure you can play it because it's actually music. It's the leaders, the UK party leaders, rapping what they're going to do for the budget, because we're having our budget announced next week. So listen, you need to listen to this. This is going to make you laugh. I love it. It's hilarious.
And this is the members of Parliament, right? That's the MPs.
Yeah.
And this is the budget rap battle. Is that this? That's what we're talking about, right? And so, like I said, as I mentioned, I try to keep some things fresh on the show, and so I don't even listen to them until we are on the show. And so, right now, I'm getting ready to cue that up so that everybody that's listening can hear it at the same time. But as I'm getting ready for this, everyone needs to understand Avani has her own unique presence. And so some of the things that she may pick, man, they're out there. And so we're going to definitely post this so that everyone can hear it.
We're going to share that because every time I see it, every time, without saying, I'll just sit there watching it and I'm just laughing.
And here we go. We're bringing it in, and I'm not sure if Avani can hear it, but I can hear it. And
I want to be chancellor.
I can't hear it right now, but I see it. And this is what I meant to say. They're getting in on the Rap Act because they want to get the public to notice them.
Now this is really condoned by them. This wasn't a mashup. They know about this.
Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm assuming they must know by now. If they didn't know before, they know by now because somebody's edited it and they've made it into a commercial and they just playing it on TV. So They did this a couple of years ago, actually. They've done this to them a few times. They sort of put their voice to music. You know what? I'm going to find a few more on YouTube, because there must be some more.
And so do they find this? No, and it's actually pretty good, actually. Whoever put this together, it is good. I don't see anything negative with this.
You know, the youth of today love their music, especially their rap music and such. So they probably thought, whoever put it together thought, yeah, this is going to get people's attention. Because if you want people to vote over here, you got to pull out the stops. You got to get their attention. You got to get them to do stuff. But the reason why I wanted to play it on today's show is because it ties in with the rap thing. And it ties in with the theme of, if you don't have nothing to do with yourself, especially as a black person, you're going to go off maybe and do something that you shouldn't really do. And then you're going to end up in jail. And that's where it seems that a lot of black men especially are ending up. Because they're not getting the chances to make something of their life. Obviously, not all black men want to be a rapper. No, I'm not saying that. But we all tend to love our music, whether it be rap, soul, whatever you love your music. And even if you're not an artist, you want to do something constructive with your life. That's the message I'm trying to give across here.
Right.
So, yeah. So you don't want to...
I agree with that but you have to have the seed planted that you should look to do something constructive with your life.
Yeah.
And this is something where it also, when someone sees something like this, the information that you gave me, it's from the Sky News.
Yeah, that's right.
It's something also that people will pay attention to a subject matter that they normally would not pay attention to.
Exactly.
Because it's in a format that they're comfortable with. You know, people like hip hop, so they're comfortable. They'll listen and like, who is this? And then they'll actually, hopefully, they'll learn something.
That's right. Or they may now see, whereas maybe the younger generation may not as be interested in voting. Now they've heard this little people that I'm gonna post it on my page so you can see it. Now they've heard this budget leaders rap battle, right? They're probably gonna be like, oh my god! Even though it looks really like nerdy, because you don't imagine him there rapping. You would look at that and you might start to take more of an interest, even though most kids, they're not really that interested. Obviously, there are a few, don't get me wrong, there are a few that are coming up now and they're sort of like, you know what, I'm going to have to get interested in politics if I want my life to change. But they're more interested to hear about it if they have something that, as you say, they can identify with, because the rap music, everybody, somewhere, in some form, likes music. So this is just a way to get people's attention. And I just wanted to share it because it just made me realise that the UK government are finally starting to find ways to pay attention, to get us to pay attention to them, sort of thing as well, you know. So, but pertaining back to the prison visit thing, I just realised that the UK government need to start listening to people and helping prisoners to rehabilitate, and that's why I think that the video messaging services as visitation rights would be good to incorporate.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I agree with that, really. And it's, as I mentioned, there are different levels. And it's, as you also said, if you break the rules, you shouldn't be able to partake of this. No. But then, you give with one hand. You know, people take with one hand and they give with another. So if you're behaving yourself and, you know, you're doing what's asked of you and you're trying to change your ways, if you've been a bit naughty and you've been to jail, then you should be allowed to have I don't want to call it a perk, but a visitation like that, especially if your family are telling you, look, we ain't coming up there because for whatever reason we can't afford to get there, or it's too far away, blah 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 blah. So the one phone call because remember, prisoners don't get to call home that much because it's quite expensive, isn't it? You know, you have to have money to use the phones as well. Yeah, that's another crazy thing. They make them have to pay a certain amount, and then they've got to, the people on the other end have to, you know, they have to pay and have their, you know, in the United States here in the area I live in, they have you get a special card. Okay. You know, where you pay in advance for a certain number of minutes and all this, because I had someone who had an issue and it was on vacation and they had that issue. So this is what happens, right? Right. So
it's not. And remember, when you're in jail, you ain't making a lot of money because you're not working, because you're in jail, unless you're working in the prison service. But still, they don't pay you a lot, if anything. So it's because these things still have to be paid for. They're going to make you pay to make a phone call. That's why a lot of guys can't call home that regular, because they don't have the money. And obviously, the wife or whoever can't call into the jail because it's only one-way traffic, isn't it? They can only call out when they can call out. So if they try and call you and you're not in, that's their chance missed. Or if they try and call you, or, letters, not everyone is good at writing letters. Not everybody likes writing letters. And that can go both ways. So the communication can sometimes start to get lost, isn't it? But if they can say, okay, we're going to give you this video messaging at this time. So you tell whoever it is that you're allowed to speak to them from, 4 till 6, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then that person can say, okay, I'm going to make myself available from 4 till 6. You may not stay on the full 2 hours, but at least you know that was your chance to talk to so-and-so sitting in front of each other, in front of a computer. You're at home and they're in jail, wherever it is. And you can have that conversation. It's that communication, isn't it?
That's it. You just said the magic word, communication.
Yeah.
And what you've been talking about is something where the more we've talked about the subject, the more I feel, more I am in agreement with you. I normally agree with you anyway, so I'll be nice.
This is the whole beauty of this show. We get to, talk about things and air our views, isn't it?
Right. And that's one thing that as we've been talking about this, there's so much to this topic that you've got to revisit this again. We can't just make it a one show thing.
Yeah, because time is running away, people. I love to chat already, and wow, time is really going. I'm just like, I've got other things I want to tell you guys about, but don't worry, if it's a link, I will share it on the Ask Avani Show. Because K-Rose, we must mention this, isn't it? There's going to be a replay tonight of the Ask Avani Show. Of course,
the Ask Avani Show is in demand, so we need to make sure that we give it to have people. Give them the opportunity to listen to the show if they can't catch it live, which right now we are live in the U.S. and in the U.K.
Yes.
They can catch it tonight at 9 p.m. GMT.
Oh, see, people, now, if you didn't make the time to sit with us this afternoon, you've got another chance this evening, UK time. Don't worry, it's going to be another replay of this show. And there's something else I wanted to share quickly. Because, about every week, you will see these things online. There's a couple of stories that I wanted to share. See, this just goes to show you, right? You will not believe some of the things that people are getting arrested for. I sent you these links again, K-Rose. The garbage man that was thrown into jail. Why was he thrown into jail, people? Okay, you ain't going to believe it. Because he got to work too early.
I saw that.
What kind of foolishness is that?
I can't even comment on that because that is insane.
I just like, what? So this black man is going to work. He's a productive member of society. He's paying his taxes, I'm sure, whatever. He's gone to do his job. And because he got to the neighborhood a little bit too earlier than what they was expecting, they called the police on him and they took him away. And that's what they charged him with for, getting to work too early because he was disturbing the professional athletes and so in that suburb. I'm like, what?
Well, he went to jail for doing his job, is what we're saying.
Yeah. So okay, but see now, how is that productive? You've chucked him in jail. He was a productive member of society doing his job. The police have chucked him in jail for, I think it was 30 days. I'm not sure what the update on it is now. I must check online to find out what happened to him because that's just ridiculous. They were going to put him in jail for 30 days, and then I think he's got to pay them some fine money or something for 6 months or some foolishness. And they said, oh, okay, well, we're putting you in jail because you got to work too early and you did the job before the city rules allowed for you to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So he's in jail. He's not making no money. He's making it so that taxpayers have to pay to feed and clothe him while he's in jail. And it's not even in there for a legitimate crime. That's just because he broke the city rules because they privatized the garbage service or something. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I'm going to post it, people. Don't worry. There's another one. He was this man, another black man. See, another one. He was charged with trespassing. Okay, ask me where he was trespassing.
Okay. I'm scared to ask, but okay, where?
At his workplace. I was like, hold on a second. So, hold on. You arrested this man, right? harass him. And it's not just once. This poor man, right, he's been stopped over 200 times and charged with trespassing